Hello, this is vlog number 13 and I'm up in the neighborhood tree. Let me show you guys. You like jump from that rock up. Yeah. Anyways, today I want to talk about hosting. And this is something that people often ask me about, and I think that I am basically I should make a separate video about going from like introvert to social or more extroverted, but this one will be about like going from never hosting to like having hosted a gathering. So it's like hosting 101. And yeah, I think like I'll just talk about my experience for 10 minutes and we'll see how it lands. Let's see. So I think the first thing that I ever hosted was a book club. Actually, sorry, I remember the thing I want to say, which is like why host. Like, I think something that can happen a lot is people will have like disparate friendships. Like you have one friendship over here and another over there, and they're like one-off friendships, but they don't know each other. And what's really nice is when you can get like a group of like 4 friends that know each other, because once you have a little group scene, then when they bring their one-on-one friends, like their own like plus ones, it just grows into a larger community or scene, which is what you want, instead of one person having 8 like isolated friendships, because that doesn't really create like a sense of community or like able to easily gather, and like also they don't get to meet each other. And yeah, so I will say being online and finding like my community of friends on Twitter really helped unlock some hosting abilities for me, because I always wanted to host, but I didn't feel like I had friends that knew each other well enough. One way that you can host without having like a scene to tap into is like, let's say you have plans with one friend to go to the movies or go to dinner or whatever. Like, you can just invite your other friend along and have like almost like a friend, you know, introducing 2 friends to each other kind of thing. Another thing you can do is make a book club. So I started hosting with an online book club, but it was like remote, and the format that worked for me was like 90 minutes on like a Sunday morning. It's a book, you read like 1 chapter every week, and it was through like Google Calendar or like Zoom. I think 90 minutes is usually like a good amount of time. And it's really easy because you have this like third thing to talk about, which is the book and like the ideas in it. And it can be fun to also introduce like activities, like now we're going to like practice the exercise in the book, something like that. I also started hosting picnics, and that was really easy because you don't need like a venue to host it in. What you can do is just tell people like a time, and it's nice because people can come and go. It's outside, it's nice to be outside. People can bring like, you can bring like 1 or 2 blankets, take a photo of like where on the hill you're at, and it's like really easy to gather. And so it's like, hey, 2 p.m. Dolores Park, come hang out. And people, it's like easy to bring snacks, it's easy to leave, it's easy to bring plus ones. It can be a really enjoyable way to just like sit and chat with people. One thing you can do if it's hard to find and like your blanket's not that knittable is have some little like a little rubber duck or like some little prop to show that this is the picnic that you want to be at. yeah, so picnics are really easy. I really liked them for also like first getting to know like my online friends. It's like safe, it's low commitment, and like if people are having a good time, you can transition on to like dinner, or like drinks and like walk around and stuff like that. It's really nice to have a core group whenever you're hosting. I really only want to host when I have like at least one co-host, and the co-host and you and then like your core group of friends will really set like the tone and social cohesion for that container. So it's like, yeah, like even if no one shows up and it's just you and like your for like 3 to 4 people, that's like a good time, you know. So like that kind of helps a lot with other people who are like plus ones are trying to get to know each other, to feel like, oh yeah, like there is some core cohesion happening here. Let's see, after picnics and book clubs, I got into hosting like movie nights and dinner parties. Dinner parties varies by where you are. Like if you live somewhere where it's hard to do like a potluck because people have to like make the food ahead of time, then drive over with it, like sometimes that can be hard depending on, I don't know, your friends. And so what you could do is make like one big pot of like Thai curry, which is nice because it's like pretty vegetarian friendly and vegan friendly. Or I've heard some people do like order in, which takes a lot of the effort off your hands. Something that I definitely recommend you do is like welcome people in at the door and then give them a drink, which is like immediately sets them at ease, and then you can kind of walk them through the space, and that's just like, oh, here, have a drink, and walk through the space together and like introduce the people that you might know or get along with, say some similar like activities. That's really helpful. Also, I kind of like to invite people in groups of like 4 to 5, because I find that conversation breaks at around 4 to 5 people. So if you have like a group of like, I don't know, 7 people, there's like a little bit of tension of like one conversation and then like 2 people like on the side chatting. So yeah, 5, 10, 15 is really nice. And what else? Lighting is so big. Always pay attention to the lighting. It needs to be warm and comfortable and not sterile. Music is really also nice, and then scent is like strangely so great for setting some kind of tone. Like you walk into the door and you smell food, it really sets the tone. You can also invite people to like wear something interesting, like wear like a piece of jewelry or something that is like makes you feel special or celebratory, and then people feel like they're engaging in the scene or like in the night with you. For a movie night, you can do like pick up some like nice pizza and snacks and wine, like snack on that, eat that for like an hour or so, but then transition to the movie. For a dinner party, yeah, if you make this big pot of like Thai curry or something, then it's a pretty natural script. People know how to like, it's like a dinner party. It's usually pretty fine. I wouldn't even worry that much about seating. Like people find a way to hang out. But floor cushions are very nice if you don't have like a rug. A rug is really nice because people will just sit on the rug, whereas if you don't have a rug, then people will kind of hover uneasily sometimes over the floor. A rug is also just really nice for like pulling your space together. What else? There's this idea of being like a really good like a good dictator while hosting. People sort of want to know what to do, and they want you to be very clear about transitions, like, hey, like welcome in, like we're now going to transition to the movie, or like we're now going to like start going, people are like, the picnic's over, but you're welcome to start like walking to this dinner place nearby. You can go from group to group and tell them if you don't feel comfortable like giving a big announcement. What else? I think for like parties or dinner parties, I like to set out a lot of little gadgety things, like having books on a bookshelf, or like interesting coffee table games, or things that people can like sort of that and make it look like inviting to play with too. Just like, oh, here's like some little candies, and people like, especially like introverts like me, will be like, oh, like I'm feeling like I want to not just look at another person and talk with them, but like maybe we're like munching on the chips, or like we're looking at the little fridge magnets, and like it helps ease that social interaction. Yeah, I'm going to say the last tip before I go is like, people will look to the host for like regulation. So if you appear like, it's important to like be chill, be like a chill host, like be enjoying yourself, calm. Like if you're stressed out running around, it will set the like, people will pick up on that and they will regulate off of you, since you're like the center of the party's vibe. So just try to ground and have your co-host, and like just ask people to help you with things, and sort of set your own expectation ahead of time, like to put away things that might break or that might like be fragile, so that if something does happen, you can just be like, oh, don't worry about it, instead of like freaking out. Yeah, that's a quick blurb on hosting. Bye.